After such a weird day, I needed comfort. I needed to be with people I knew loved me and appreciated me and cared for me. I needed to be with my family. The door to the living room opened. My little brother, Luke, popped his head round the frame. "What's up, fart face?" he said before rugby tackling me to the floor. I kicked him in his head with one bare, muddy foot and managed to escape from his grip. Luke is 18 and already over 6 feet tall. He'd inherited some sporty gene that had completely skipped me and played football, rugby and took part in swimming contests. He also did mixed martial arts and had a black belt in being an irritating knobhead.
I was chaperoning him. Pete had a whale of a time. He was sitting in between me and Kelly Brook. There's a lot of men who'd like to be in that position. Well, you can...
Excuse me, gentlemen.
No, I said...
I'm not from this area.
No, because I thought... Why are you always trying to mute me? You know, I just look like a trophy bimbo on your arm who
That is
can't
absolutely
talk.
not true. There are people that just have the eye, isn't there? Like they're out there. Fucking hell. I'm like, what?
Our community is growing, but it needs to continue to grow. Like a fetus in the womb.
We still need more subscriptions. So please subscribe to our channel.
Hit that subscribe button now. Hello and welcome to the Therapy Crouch with me, Abbey Clancy.
And me, Peter Crouch. Sorry, the award-winning Therapy Crouch.
I know.
We were recognised recently. Thank you very much.
Congrats.
By the Variety Club Silver Heart Award.
Which is an incredible honour. You know, this charity, the Variety Club, has got the most incredible history. People who've won this award before us have been like the Beatles, Joan Collins.
Yeah, it was. I didn't realise quite how big it was. It's a big award. Amazing, really, to be recognised.
Yeah. And, you know, what the charity do for the kids is just fantastic. They raise so much money for the Variety Club coaches as well, which enable all these kids to get around safely and happy. So great to be a part of that. And, you know, we want to get involved with the charity more. You know, I used to sing with them when I was a kid. When I used to do the shows, it was the Variety Club Great Britain. And when I was in the awards, I saw this lady and I thought, God, I know you. And I think she used to run the Variety Club shows when I was a little girl, redheaded lady. And then I couldn't find her again in the event. And I am desperate to speak to her if it was her. You know, when you're like, oh my, I never forget a face. And I was like, I know her face. And it was definitely from that. So if you're listening, get in touch.
Are you reaching out?
I'm reaching out.
Nice. So yeah, it was a great night. And I'm still a little bit husky.
Yeah, Pete had a really good time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet.
And he ended up bidding on a lunch for him and Joan Collins. So I can't wait to hear about that.
I've said I'd love to do that. It's Joan Collins, and it was a silent auction, so I thought.
She's an icon. She's
I think. Yeah.
She's the last of the generation of that kind of mega
Star. Yeah.
You know, she's 90 years old. She looks a million times better than me now. She's so charismatic, so glamorous. And she's best friends with my new best friend, Christopher Biggins.
Ab hasn't stopped talking about Christopher Biggins. Absolutely love him, don't you?
I love him.
Yeah.
I think, and Christopher does so much for this charity. He's raised millions for the Variety Club and he is always available to help them whenever he can. Like, he is just a sensational human. And I met him on Cooking with the Stars and it was an instant love at first sight for both of us. And I can't wait to take him and his hubby out for lunch.
Mm-hmm. He's great.
He's so clever and funny and kind, and he's just got the most incredible stories from that old school showbiz.
Yeah.
You know,
I seen him on Celebrity Come Down Me and he was very, very good quality, like good content.
Yeah.
And he's a good cook. He is a good cook.
I've seen him in action in the kitchen. But he knows his stuff. You know, he's a bit of a food and wine connoisseur. I just think he's wonderful.
Yeah. But like, even in that room, you're like in that Variety Club Awards, like everyone, like we're so new to it all. Like obviously I played football, you know, Ab was a model. We're not in the entertainment world or, you know what I mean? I feel like all these people, like Bradley Walsh, it just showed like him
50 years contributing to the
30, 40
industry.
years. You know, everyone, all the people like radio DJs, you know, Global recognised, weren't they, radio station. You know, they're all people on TV, you know, Sheridan Smith, James Corden, people that have been in that world.
Sheridan is an absolute legend.
Yeah,
as
she's
well.
iconic as well.
Yeah.
Icon.
So they were all great.
I was actually quite jealous of that role she got, to be honest, playing Cilla
Cilla.
Black. I wanted that. So why didn't I get the call for that?
You could have been Scylla.
I know. I've got the teeth.
Yeah.
And I can sing.
I'll do it, but on one opportunity I could sing Shallow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
sounds
nice to
good
see
night.
Sheridan. She's an absolute legend, and she won an award for her, you know, incredible contribution to her art.
Yeah, but you know, like, obviously, you know, we were recognised for awards. You know, I celebrated, and I got told off for celebrating. Okay, you weren't really on my page, were you? I thought we were celebrating a big win.
We were celebrating a big win, but I was working the next day. So
So you were just like chaperoning me.
I was chaperoning you. Pete had a whale of a time. He was sitting in between me and Kelly Brook. There's a lot of men who'd like to be in that position. More so Kelly Brook than me, to be honest. So yeah, did you have a nice time?
I had a lovely evening, thanks, yeah.
Which brings me on to my weekly wine.
Go on.
So every time we're on stage together, Pete directs me and tells me what I can and can't say.
It's not true.
So when we were on the Brit Award,
It's not
like
true at
no,
all.
it is true.
You asked me what you're going to say, so
No.
I'll tell you.
And because I get actually, believe it or not, very nervous.
I was very nervous.
at those kind of oh, shut up.
I was nervous.
love
How
it.
many people were you presenting in
was
front of?
nervous.
Do you think?
Oh, there was a
roughly?
room of 1,000 people.
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Okay.
that. 500 people, 1,000 people.
Big, yeah, big
Big,
audience,
big.
big audience.
But the Brit Awards obviously goes out to millions of people, and obviously the people in the room, which is in their thousands. But Pete's always like, right, we'll go on together. You just stand there, and I'll say this, and then you say thank you, and walk off. And I'm like, why are you always trying to mute me? You know, I just look like a trophy bimbo on your arm who
that is
can't talk.
absolutely not
That's
true.
half correct.
Pete's like, yeah. Pete's like made this like whole speech with all gags in, and then he's like, and you just laugh, yeah? And then
You just laugh.
I'm like, stop trying to mute me. Talk me
didn't
through why
happen.
it did happen.
Didn't happen.
Did you go off
It's happened
script?
twice now.
Did you go off script, Abby, or not?
I was petrified.
Was you?
I
I'm not
was
gonna lie.
fucking so nervous as well. Like, so nervous. But then I was like, you kept asking me all the time, what are you going to say, what are you going to say, what are you going to say? So I said, I'm going to say this. What are you going to say? And you said, what do you think I should say? So then I say,
Just
I
say
think,
thanks.
I think you should say this. Or nothing.
Just smile and look pretty.
Yeah.
I was sweating
We're
and
not from
shaking.
that planet, you know what I mean? And we were nervous doing that in front of people that do it for a living. And yeah,
But I always remember that old famous quote from Simon Cowell. No one wants to see anyone on stage nervous. You know, there's so many people who like want to, and it's such a hindrance to me. Nerves. It just, oh my God, to have, you know, I've got a lot of confidence in certain areas, but I severely lack it in others. And that's one of the things I would like to master. And I was in my head thinking, Mo Gowda.
yeah.
You know, but I was so nervous. Bizarre. Pete gets standing on my frigging dress all night.
Blathered.
Yeah, bladdered.
it was a long dress. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I want to walk with you, but I have to walk like 10 yards behind.
You could walk in front and hold my hand. I had this incredible Cavalli runway gown on. It was just, you know, one of them dresses you put on and you're just like, oh my God, this is incredible. And he kept standing on it. I was like falling on top of people all night. But yeah.
But you look gorgeous. My weekly wine is you got into that habit of, you know, like driving in and just leaving the door open, the car door. What is that about?
It's because I'm trying to multitask. Like I'm getting all the school bags out the car, the coats, the kids.
Yeah, but I do that as well.
But
But
if they
like,
don't shut.
well, I don't get out of the car with the kids.
No, you leave the bags in the car. You take them to school and leave the bags in the boot and drive away from the school. So don't you be talking to me about
His face there.
multitasking.
I do though. Like
Like even on the weekend, it's like, you know, when Pete goes for the dog walk, he just takes the dogs
Yeah.
and has a nice leisurely stroll. When I take the dogs, my friend Alfie best friend Alfie came. He's got post-traumatic stress from the dog walk we had. It was torrential rain. I've got 4 kids, the 2 dogs. And, you know, in my head, it's like, let's go, you know, to the countryside. It's this beautiful walk through the country. And at the end, there's a fire pit where you can roast marshmallows and a little coffee van and get coffee and kids get hot chocolate. It was absolute hell. I forgot the poo bags. So I had to pick dog poop with like tissue and put it in the bin. Ralph was just running away and just going with other families and would not come back. I had to carry Johnny and Jack at the same time, bearing in mind one's 6 and one's 4, whilst getting Ralph back on the lead. The dogs were head to toe in mud. Then finally, after them crying that it was too far, gets to the place where we can roast marshmallows. Jack gets smoke in his eye. Johnny falls off a log into a puddle. This random dog runs over, eats all our flapjacks that I just got for the kids. It was hell on earth.
But this is back to my point of you always want to take. It's always a lovely idea. Take the kids, the dogs. We're going to have a nice family walk. It's one or the other. It's kids or dogs.
Bet you were just looking at Jeffrey halfway through. We don't.
Jeffrey was impeccable as always.
We're not used to this.
And then Jack needing a wee and just like pulled his pants down and weed at a tree, and all like the people are just looking at me like, oh my God, look at your feral child.
My mate said to me the other day, he said they're out in the park and stuff, and he was like, same sort of thing, like really busy, you know, doing stuff. And his little boy said, I need a toilet down. He said, just a bush there, just go over there. It's no problem. Went over there, pulled his pants down, had a shit. In the park. Oh my God, I was laughing, man.
Desperately looking for a dock leaf.
I know, a dock leaf.
What's the deal with a dock leaf?
That's if you get stung by a nettle.
No, I know, but like, I remember we used to always have, like, do kids get stung by nettles anymore?
I've never seen a nettle for years.
That's what I'm saying, the nettles don't even exist anymore.
I don't know, they must do.
Used to have nettles and dock leaves, like.
Yeah.
And then to make matters worse, my own daughter taking the pee out of my own accent. She was doing accents and she was like, Mummy, like so bad. Mummy, so
It's amazing.
I'm going to do accents. I'm going to do Scouse and then British.
She said, listen to this sentence. I'm going to do it in Scouse and then British.
I'm like, Scouse is British? What are you talking about?
We're not English for Scouse.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, that was so good.
So yeah, it was an eventful week. You know, honoured to have won the award.
How are you getting on with your Mo Gaudat vibe? You know, turning the negatives into positives.
Excellent. Today, I felt fantastic. The sun was shining. I went to the gym with my sister. We had an omelette. We came home. We're going to start this new fasting thing because that's another thing that people do to sharpen their mind, rest the digestive system, you know, getting on this health kick.
It's become all the rage, this, isn't
Intermittent fasting, is it?
Kind of kick your system into gear again.
Yeah. I felt so positive today. The sun was shining. I had the roof down, sun on my skin. You know, it's a good day.
Good day.
I feel the little bit of effort you put into yourself to change your thoughts, your thought process into a positive definitely has a great outcome.
All right.
You should try it sometime.
Yeah. I'm always positive.
No, there's a difference between positive and not giving a fuck about anything.
Do I look happy though?
Yeah.
There you go.
Does it with a smile on his face?
I don't give a fuck with a smile.
I'd love to be like you.
I just think positivity is key. And I lived my life by that mantra. And I didn't need Mo Gaudat to tell me. I knew that I needed to be positive.
You're not positive.
I am.
You're not always positive.
Well, not all the time, but quite a lot.
All right there.
What?
All the time.
I don't know what's happened to me. Very husky today. Very husky. All right. There's a weekly shine here for me. Hi, Abbey and Pete. I just want to say a massive thank you, especially to Peter. When you came to Newcastle Tottenham match, as you were leaving, you stopped and had photos taken with my son and his friend. They were over the moon. I just wanted you to know how much stopping for these impromptu photos mean and how amazing you are to stop for the kids. Absolutely love the therapy couch. Thanks again, Rachel.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice. I remember.
But to be honest, that's something you've always done. It really pees you off, doesn't it, when you see these young pup footballers nowadays with the
No
old
respect.
earphones on.
Yeah.
walking in, playing little Nintendo Switch or whatever, ignoring all the fans. You know, that's what they do, these young ones.
No, listen, there's plenty of them that take their time as well, but there's been a few incidents where they haven't. But, you know, yeah, that's something I've always done, and I think, yeah, it is important to do. But the thing is, you know, it can't always stop for everyone, can you? So there's a few that may be disappointed, but you always try and do
I do get this woman messaged me on Instagram and said she asked you for a photo at a game and you didn't. And she keeps texting me on. And I think the last message where I'm unfollowing everything you do and you're both dead to me. I swear.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
How are you going to cope without her in your life now?
What was she after?
She was just like, can you ask Pete why he didn't stop
I didn't stop
for a photo? I can't believe he did that. You know, just so many messages. And the last one that was like, you're both dead to me now.
Oh, fucking hell.
So,
Well, if I knew she was, I would have stopped. I, you know, like I say, you can't please everyone, but you can try. Yeah. All right. If you are listening, I apologise for not stopping. All right, let's crack on. What is it with people not respecting your personal space on public transport? I'm sure you guys have enough to deal with when out and about in public, but God almighty, the whiff of smelly pits shoved in your face on the bus or the tube first thing in the morning has got to be one of the most nauseating experiences known to mankind. I am making a public service announcement for all public transport goers to start carrying an emergency bottle of Lynx Africa to help quell the smell.
that's worse.
Well, the smell.
Yeah.
But it's poor hygiene. I heard on Capital Radio today where they said, I briefly only heard the end of it, and it was like, there's no scientific evidence to suggest having a shower is good for you, other than, you know, it gets rid of your smell. I was like, that's a load of shit.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Well, it just makes you feel better.
Opened your pores up, surely. I always feel like if I've got like a blocked nose or something like that and I get a shower, you feel unblocked it, yeah.
Well, you have to wash your privates and your pits and your legs. Ross has never washed his legs.
I haven't. I don't wash my legs much.
I do have to like mucky, but like, yeah.
Like, I don't put soap all over my legs.
I do.
I've been there all day.
What about your toes?
Nah, I just let the soap gather at
It
the
all
tray.
just gathers down there, doesn't it?
I wash in. Do you not wash in between your toes?
No.
In between your toes. So ticklish as well.
You can't tickle yourself.
No, but I also feel like I don't want soap on my feet because you'd slip over.
That's a mad point, huh? You can't really tickle yourself, can you? Just not ticklish at all.
Oh.
Why is that?
I know, no idea.
A mad one. Being on public transport, especially in the summer, you know, especially if it's enclosed.
But the thing with BO, it's avoidable.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have it.
agreed.
End of.
There are people that just have VO, isn't there? Like they're out there. Fucking hell. I'm like, what the hell is that all
Like,
about?
no, if someone has BO, they're not normal. They're not a normal person. If they live with BO, people who smell like
stale
BO
sweat.
on a daily basis,
Yeah.
all day, every day, that is not normal. No. That is not okay.
Some footballers that I've played with that have it. And, you know, the worst one's like when you swap shirts. And you're like, fuck. I can have that back, mate. And then some players, like, wear aftershave on the pitch. Like, what? Why? That's a weird one, I think.
I'd rather them do that than smell a bow, though,
If
would
you've
you?
got one strand there,
Yeah, but I've always thought, why would
Alfalfa.
you wear aftershave on the pitch? Ooh, you smell nice. What the hell's that about?
it's just habit, probably. Habit and ritual.
Maybe.
But some people take a lot of pride in the way they smell.
Yeah, of
I
course.
love
But I'm just
smelling
thinking on the pitch. I mean, you're
Do you
gonna.
think I smell nice?
You always smell nice. Well, you know, I can't smell very much, can I? But
I love
you
the
look like you smell nice.
I love the smell of washing powder.
Yeah.
And I love the smell of perfume.
Your washing powder's famous. My mates come around and they're like, God, we're never showering up in my house. Like, oh, towels are phenomenal.
When his mates come round for a shower.
When they stay,
When his smelly mates come round for a shower.
they all come round from golf now. And they like to use our towels. Because
I can't smell my own washing though. It's
You
just so
can't, can you? But
annoying.
you can smell it when you go into other people's houses.
Yeah. It's so funny this morning, like, because Kaz left me 7 voice notes talking about the finish of her outdoor kitchen doors,
really,
like describing them in detail and
were they voice notes?
voice notes. She was like, please ring me. And then, obviously, because I couldn't answer because I was in the gym. So when me and Ellie went for our omelette after, going through all the voice notes, and Ellie was like, is this what you two talk about? I was so
Do
interested.
you want to play us one?
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
I can.
I'll play
Oh,
you.
give us the most boring
And
one.
we're supposed to be going to Ibiza, me, Ellie, and Kaz, and I was like, I don't want to go.
If you lot.
Okay.
When you going to Ibiza, by the way?
Yeah, you slipped that in.
Slip that in. We're going to Ibiza. What?
For Luke's thing.
Anyway, getting back to more important things, you need to help me with my outdoor kitchen. I don't know which way to go. So whenever you get a chance, call me. It's either going to be steel doors with a built-in render. You know those outdoor kitchens where they look like they've always been there and built when the house was built. Or do I go more modern and have, remember that, the rusty red finish? It's kind of like so they both have ceramic worktops. But one would be
Fucking hell.
steel doors and the other one would be covered in that kind of finish. I can't remember what it's called.
God. I think Abby's hair would fall out if she listens to us.
It's a really strong waterproof material that looks like stone or metal from a distance. And it gives a warm look. I'll try and find some pictures. But if not, I need to speak to you. I need help. Bye.
Yeah, but that's...
Bora.
Yeah, you want to reply?
No.
I wasn't expecting that.
She would.
Will you fucking bore off?
I only sent that. I was totally interested in that because that, you know,
Well, I hear
interiors,
that all the time.
interiors are my passion. But Ellie was flabbergasted. That wasn't the first message, by the way. That was like the 3rd, 4th one. So Ellie was like, sent
is
her a
mad.
message back saying that, and she was so upset because she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to ask you then anymore." And I was like, "No, I love." She was like, "Oh, just because I'm not filming a podcast like you, you know, this is my life." And she got so offended. I'm like, Kaz, I'm interested. I love you. You to me are the most interesting person on earth, which she is. She doesn't always talk about interiors.
No. I mean, you like that anyway. That's I hear you talk like that, back to and fro for hours.
I know. Well, that's what we like.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Pete, God, count yourself lucky. We could be talking about all kinds.
Listen, you know, talk like that to your heart's content.
Good.
Meanwhile,
Champions League tonight.
yeah, meanwhile, you're in Fart Gang. That's the level
Yeah.
of voice notes you're sending.
I know, yeah. Freaking football memes. I'm like, can you delete me out of this group, please?
And you're involved in that.
Yeah,
aren't you?
like, what is that?
Oh, well, you know, each their own.
Yeah.
It's what makes the world go round. Lots of different interests,
Yeah.
you know. All right, let's move on from smelly trains. Is it me or are these kids these days getting old too fast?
Oh, yeah.
I heard you guys talking about the filth you hear on the song lyrics lately, and it really resonated. I was at a family party recently, and my little cousins and nieces were doing a TikTok dance covered in makeup to lyrics that nearly made my hair fall out. Who wants to see a 10-year-old twerking? What happened to climbing trees and picking your nose and eating it?
Here.
Yeah.
You know?
Here.
It's a question we just raised before. What happened to nettles and dock leaves?
Exactly.
What's happened?
Well, that's why I want all the animals, Pete. The ponies. That's what it does. It keeps them young. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know the sun's out now, and thankfully we've made the kids go out.
Fun's out. Sun's out, fun's out.
Sun's out, fun's out. Yeah, and I think I definitely think, but I think with the song lyrics,
It's so hard though because, like, when we were kids, there was a lot more innocence because you weren't influenced by social media. So you were only doing what the kids did in school or in your street, and you'd be just playing out in the street till 8 o'clock, having your dinner, going to bed. You were very young. You couldn't see what's the latest makeup trends or the products that everyone has. It just wasn't like that. We had a tub of 1.99 Sun Shimmer. That was about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I always so think it's like a generational thing. Everyone always looks at the generation after them and go, God, we never did that in my day. I can be like, my Nana Trees used to say that to us as well. Do you know what I mean?
Nanny Teresa can't talk. She was bloody wild.
Yeah, to be fair.
She was in the club till she was 95. But it is because I actually thought that today. You know, I made a genuine mistake while I was driving. You know, the road as you go into M&S,
Yeah.
they've changed the lanes. So normally it was like 2 lanes that could turn right. And now it's gone into 1. I was like, oh, so I wasn't going straight on. And should seeing these 2 people in the car next to me like like that. And I wound the window down.
This is an audio thing, by the way.
I know.
Like, I don't know if
So
you
they were screaming at me
through the car, so you
through
couldn't
the
hear
car,
them.
so I couldn't hear them. So I actually just stopped the car. I wound my window down and I said calmly, guys, I've just made a genuine mistake by being in the wrong lane because the roads have changed and this is actually not my local area. And if that small mistake...
Hold on 1 minute. I
did.
do not believe
I
that
swear
you
on your life.
said those words
I did.
in that time.
I did. I was so calm and I stopped the car.
Guys.
I had a pile of traffic behind me and I was like, if that slight mistake makes you so angry, you need to assess your life.
You're turning into Mo Gowda.
Yeah. I've got a feeling that's definitely how you remember that conversation going, Abby, but...
So you said to me, you wound your window down calmly and said, guys.
No, I didn't say it like that. I said, guys.
Who the fuck are you waving your arms? Like, I'll get out this car and fucking flatten you. And then I calmly drove off and told them I'm not from this area.
I'm not from this area.
No, I said, well, you can...
Excuse me, gentlemen.
No, I said...
I'm not from this area.
No, because I thought, I'm not going to react like you because you look mental.
Yeah.
I'm just want to, like, that's another wine I've got when people go mad at you for like getting in the line or overtaking or whatever and they go ballistic. Like, and the pair of them, I'm like, God, you two are obviously not having intercourse.
Yeah. I was a man and wife. Like going
Man and
mental.
wife.
Why people are so angry about this stuff? You
And
know?
I was like, take a chill pill.
You need to be unstressable.
Smell you later.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall of that.
Yeah, same.
And I was getting beeped and everything from behind but I thought, I'm not letting this go. I'm going to do it calm. And you know, having a calm argument
Kills
makes you feel so powerful.
Oh, when it kills them. You've started doing it to me. That's brilliant. Massively.
Because
Calm down, Pete.
I'm a new woman. And it's like, so you get all night, you say, what have I done wrong? What have I done? I'll speak to you tomorrow when you're coherent.
It's nothing worse. Like, because obviously
What have I done?
I've had just tell me what I've done wrong. I'll speak to you in the morning.
I'll speak to you in the morning when you're coherent.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I am not wasting
I just
my
went in a
breath.
different bedroom.
I'm not wasting, and I come and got you. I'm not wasting my breath on someone who doesn't even know what day it is. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Grow up.
Grow up!
What are we doing today, babe?
We're talking about books.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I was talking about the book Unstressable by Alice Law and Mo Gaudat. A lot of people have bought the book, I've read it and said, oh my God, this is incredible. It's changed my life. Have you got any other book recommendations? Which is quite a compliment.
Book club with Abbey and Pete.
But, you know...
This week, Mr. Tickle.
Yeah. Biff and Chip go camping.
Roger and his red hat.
Viv can run.
Viv can run. We did that one yesterday, didn't we?
That's Jack's book, Viv can run.
It
So,
says
yeah,
Viv. Is there something, sorry to interrupt, is there something about kids and he couldn't say Viv? He kept saying Vib.
It's like the Shabba and Shava thing.
Yeah, he was going,
oh my God.
Vib.
I wonder if that's a thing. Like people who can do this
Yeah.
and people who can't.
Felt, I don't know, he kept going Vib. Not Viv. I was going, Viv. Okay. Vib. No. I was Jack, it's Viv. He go, okay. Vib can run. This is mad.
That's weird, isn't it? Especially if he's getting the first. He's not saying bib.
He's saying
Viv.
Viv.
He's saying he's
Yeah,
getting the first
Viv.
vi.
He's saying the
I wonder if
start.
there's a scientific reason behind that. Because as you say, the Shabba thing.
Yeah, like the V's and the B's.
You know, it's like some people eat coriander and can taste soap.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We discussed the V's and the B's with him before the birds and the bees.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about books. People have asked me if I've got any other recommendations.
Have you?
I love reading. You hate it when I read.
Only because I miss you, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, like when we're on holiday together, you know, you go into a book, and I like it, and I'll do a book for a bit, but
We'll read the same book on holiday. We've discussed that before, which you
we
can't
spoke
get your
about
head
that.
around.
Yeah. Mad.
But, you know, when you've been together as long as us, 20 years, you need topics of conversation.
but at least you can discuss, like,
Do you know what?
What's going on?
I couldn't grasp at the time, but then I spoke to a couple of people afterwards, and they were like, "Well, you'd watch a TV series together, wouldn't you?" And
Yeah.
it did kind of
you
make
can talk
sense.
about it, and you can both be boring together.
Yeah.
And then you can both talk about
I think we're far from
it
boring.
together. What I'm saying is if one person's really in depth in a book and the other one's not in a book at all,
there's-
it is boring for the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
just
my
literally-
book choices are amazing, so you're normally into them. But I think you hate it because I don't often get to read books when I'm on holiday with the kids, and I don't get to read books at night because I'm shattered and just fall asleep. But I think, you know, Pete thinks it's a bit of a passion killer when we're on a trip together, and I'd rather read my books and snuggle.
Yeah.
Naked snuggle.
Yeah. You know, and we got to that stage now where I am comfortable in the fact that knowing that you would prefer to read the book.
Depends what book it is.
Yeah. It's not all books.
Yeah. Only some books can tear me away from you, darling.
What would you recommend? What would you like?
I'm a big Martina Cole fan.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites, you see. We got into her together.
You know, I do like that dark, gritty gangster underworld, even though I don't like that in real life at all.
Have you seen The Take with Tom Hardy in it?
The what?
The Take.
No.
It's
incredible.
amazing. So they made it into. We read The Take before the series, didn't we? And they made it into a series. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Tom Hardy's in it, and it was kind of before he was Hollywood, maybe.
He's so scary.
Would you
isn't he?
say?
Is he?
Oh my
He's an
God,
incredible actor.
it's
isn't
so good. If you get a chance to watch, it's called The Take. Martina Cole's The Take, because they also made The Runaway, didn't they? We read The Runaway before, and
That's
then they
one of
made
my
a
favourite
series.
ones, The
that
Runaway.
was amazing as well.
he? Yeah.
Great books.
Loyalty was fantastic, but it was
That was dark as well, wasn't it?
so dark.
Are they all like murder mystery vibes?
It's all
No,
based
it's
in
all like
London. Crime,
London
gangster
underground.
world.
So it's like, you know, prostitution and
Okay.
gangsters and drugs and
usually based around Soho, like
Okay.
Soho, the dark London underworld, and, you know, terrible things happen.
they can be scary. Like that Take, for instance, like
Very realistic.
You could not stop like every page. You were like,
Really?
oh my God. And if you watch the series, well, friggin' hell, it's unreal. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's twists all the time, like, and it's scary.
Do you like it when your favourite books get adapted and then the rest of the world gets on them and you're a bit like, it's like knowing bands before they were famous almost,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, I
I
actually
felt
read
like
the
that with
book
the
first.
I felt like that with 1975 and Catfish.
Yeah,
I didn't want the world to know them.
Yeah.
It's like I knew them first.
yeah. We saw them in a barbecue in Liverpool, like barbecue.
like three people there.
There's
It was me, you and Sophia.
1975, Matt Healy. He served me, and it was est in all the edge. Believe that?
Really?
He was a waiter.
Shut up.
Yeah.
When he was a kid.
When he was a kid, yeah. And I remember because I didn't know, obviously.
Mm.
And then when we met him in one of the early shipping forecasts in Liverpool, he did a gig there. And they were just kind of they were getting bigger. And he said to me, "Oh, you were nice. You give me a good tip." And I was like, "Oh,
Don't
thanks,
eat yellow snow, son.
Yeah, it's raining, carry an
Thanks,
umbrella.
mate." Yeah. And he still hasn't given me a free ticket. So if you're listening, Matt,
Yes.
has he?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
He
off.
has. He's given us loads, in fact.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'll let him off.
The Tattooist of Auschwitz. That's just been made into a
What's it called?
series. I can't talk with this phrase. Stop.
Sorry, I didn't hear what it was called.
You did. You just arsehole. But my whole mouth is doing weird things at the moment. So that's just been made into a series, which I really want to watch tonight.
That was a massive book, wasn't it?
Massive.
You didn't read that, did
No, I
you?
haven't read that, no.
Really good.
Wonderful.
I'll go
Tearjerker.
straight over to series.
I read the second one as well, Silka's Journey. So that was from the girl's point of view.
But what was the like? Because
It was
I don't know
basically
anything about it.
So when people would arrive at Auschwitz, the concentration camp, they'd all be marked.
Marked with a number.
You'd have a
tattooed.
mark.
He was the man that would do that
To
to people.
mark them.
Yeah. And then he kind of like falls in love with the girl, and then it just goes on and on from there, basically. And then well, I don't want to give any spoilers, so if people haven't read it, but it's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I know it was a huge book.
It's definitely,
So and it's a series now.
yeah. I
That'll
want
be
to
good.
watch it tonight.
What about you, Pete? What type of... you fiction, non-fiction type of guy? Or I imagine you read a lot of like autobiographies.
Yeah, I do read. I like sports autobiographies. You know, there's been some good ones over the years that I've loved. Cruyff was a really good one. Like Cruyff's the man that's kind of like changed football.
Yeah.
You know, like not just because of the turn, right? He's
Like
got
Jurgen?
a turn named after him. No, Johan Cruyff was like that. You know, his Barcelona team, the original Dutch team, was like, it was passing football, sexy football. They kind of like invented this kind of passing game, and he was part of that team. And then he took it to Barcelona, and in some ways he's kind of shaped how Barcelona have become like this ticky-tacky team, you know. So he was but you know, he's just someone who's just changed the face of football, and I think that was interesting for me, obviously, not for you.
I read an incredible book called Stoned by Andrew Loog Oldham, and it's Oldham, and it's about the Rolling Stones basically, and he basically made the band. He was a young kid in London. He loved fashion, and he helped the Rolling Stones become who they are, and he was like, you know, a major part of...
Was he like the first manager or agent or something like that?
Yeah, he was a manager, but he was a kid, but he just had such a, well, according to the book, an incredible vision. And it was so fascinating. And, you know, roads in London, like 2 of the roads that the Rolling Stones lived in, we lived there.
Really?
One of them was England's Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another one by Lots Road. Well, we didn't live there, but we viewed a house there once.
No way. One of there was a jazz club in Ealing. That was one of their first gigs.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a nightclub now. It's a Polish nightclub now.
But they were just like, they were in the studio together and couldn't get a song together, and like Paul McCartney or John Lennon was just walking down the road and they were like, can you come in and just help us with this song?
Yeah.
Fascinating stories, because obviously I love my music and bands, but it was just like another take on a biography, someone who's not in the band.
That's like the side of the story you don't often hear, isn't it?
Yeah,
The kind of
it's
the people who make probably have the bigger impact as well than you can imagine.
Yeah.
I read a book. I read the book about Lord Beaverbrook, which was interesting. He started the Daily Express. He's kind of like Rupert Murdoch of the wartime, and he was like in charge with media and like, you know, huge in that kind of world. So he became Winston Churchill's mates. Obviously needs people, you know, newspapers, powerful people around him. And he ended up being Winston Churchill's really good friend, and then he ended up being the head of aviation for the war.
Really?
Yeah, and he had a house not far from here in Surrey, and and his house is absolutely incredible. And the stories of the parties that he had there, and obviously planning air raids from this house. And then he was, you know, in Whitehall, and, you know, the people that visited his house, like Elizabeth Taylor, Rudyard Kipling, Winston Churchill, like, it was interesting.
I love books on history.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's good, isn't it?
I remember meeting this guy in Mallorca. Do you remember him? Zane from Liverpool. He's an old man, like 80 or something like that. And I was reading a book, and he was like, why are you reading a fiction book? And he's like, what are you going to learn from that? He's like, what's the point? And I was like, but I like the story. And he was like, there's so many true stories that you can learn from. And I thought,
I've heard people take that take a couple of times. I'm not sure I agree with it. I think you need fiction as an escapism, as creative, like creativity.
If you're reading about history, it's an escapism though, isn't it?
But sometimes you're reading about, like, for example, the tattoos of Auschwitz. Those events really happen. That can really bog you down. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the sadness of it. Whereas, like, if you're reading like a cute love story, like Love Actually or something like that, so you wouldn't just watch documentaries on telly. You watch films. And
it's also for the kids as well. Like for kids, for instance, like when I read the Twits when I was young, you know, like it kind of like just imagination. Just you know, James and the Giant Peach, all the Roald Dahl's books were amazing.
Roald Dahl's fabulous.
You know, like
David Walliams' books are fantastic for the kids. They're just, even I love them.
Yeah, they're good.
He's sent us a lot of his books for the kids, hasn't he? And I just think they are wonderful. Like he's the modern day role, isn't he?
Yeah. He's really, well, I obviously haven't read many of his kids' books, but yeah, I've heard he's good.
They're
they
really,
are good.
really
they are
good.
good. But, you know,
But he's very clever, isn't he?
Talking of groundbreaking books, you know, books that changed the face of the planet. I've got Abby Clancy's Remember My Name. Just stumbled upon it. You can get two for £5 or £3 each now.
Which I think's a scandal.
It's just unashamed fun, says Heat Magazine.
Unashamed fun.
Yeah.
Says who?
Just marked a couple of the chapters here.
You also had a book out that you brought out years ago as well, so don't be taking the piss out of me.
Yeah, but you know, I did have also 3 other books that did okay. At one stage, I was actually in the Sunday Times bestsellers list.
The Sunday Times style messaged me actually.
Did they? Say what?
Noted.
Did they?
So I reckon they might see your little face on the cover
Do
soon.
you reckon, yeah?
I said he's up for, modelling,
Cardigans.
autumn's new hot trends in the cardi sector.
Not no. Cardi P.
Yeah.
I've got Shardies as well now. Coming soon. Anyway, the smell of roast yumminess hit me as soon as I opened the front door.
The smell of what?
I stood still and sniffed like a Bisto kid, picking up traces of chicken and spuds and gravy.
Is this where you thought roast dinner was my favourite meal? Is this where you got it from?
My mouth watered in response. Between the party games and the singing and the mud, the potentially life-changing encounters with Jack Duncan, I'd completely forgotten to eat all day. My empty tummy was rumbling in a very unladylike way, and I sighed with happiness. Asking Ruby to drop me off at Mum and Dad's was definitely a very sensible decision. It hadn't been just for the food, although my mum was a boss cook. That was definitely a bonus. It had been for the company. After such a weird day, I needed comfort. I needed to be with people I knew loved me and appreciated me and cared for me. I needed to be with my family. The door to the living room opened. My little brother, Luke, popped his head round the frame. "What's up, fart face?" he said before rugby tackling me to the floor. I kicked him in his head with one bare, muddy foot and managed to escape from his grip. Luke is 18 and already over 6 feet tall. He'd inherited some sporty gene that had completely skipped me and played football, rugby and took part in swimming contests. He also did mixed martial arts and had a black belt in being an irritating knobhead.
God, it's like a Horror Henry book.
It is like a horror.
Tell you what, going through that was me and my mum had the right giggle.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you that for free.
Do you know what? It was right at the time. Like you said this before when we brought this up last time. It was good. And like I read it and I enjoyed it fully.
Sorry, I just stumbled on this. Wow, said Jack, lounging around on silk sheets, looking highly amused with an online newspaper article he was reading on his phone. I've never had you down as a threesome type, Jeff. It opens up all kinds of interesting possibilities. As he was stark bollock naked and vulnerable in all types of places, I thought he was taking a bit of a risk winding me up even further, and lobbed a peanut at his crotch in retaliation. It was only a peanut, but he overreacted in the time-honoured way of men and their crotches, and folded in on himself as if though someone had just whacked his crown jewels with a mallet. I'd have felt some sense of satisfaction if it wasn't for the fact that he was still laughing.
Oh,
It's all riveting stuff.
Groundbreaking.
I love that.
All good.
Sorry, that's our
All
dog barking in the background.
good. Yeah. well
Abby
played.
Clancy, remember my name. Get your copy now.
It's still available on Amazon.
So funny.
But I remember my book was doing quite well. Like, and I remember looking at the Sunday Times like list, whatever, and I was up there with like Michelle Obama and the guy who wrote *Sapiens*. I can't pronounce his name, but it was a professor.
That's a good book.
A professor, incredible book. I read it because I read Ottolenghi, Michelle Obama, and that *Sapiens* book.
Checking out your competition?
Yeah. I was like, these fuckers, who are they?
Well, it's
I
like,
was so competitive. I went to beat them.
how do you feel about that?
Well, I felt really competitive against them. At one stage, I was above Michelle Obama, and I took a picture of it.
Yeah, but
I was like, "Who's this Michelle? Who?"
It's a bit of a what's the word?
A damning indictment of society. That I was above her.
Yeah, basically. No, it's a bit like they're bringing out really profound books. Like,
Well, you're saying mine's not profound. Mine was actually, it was lifted the lid on being a professional footballer. I've said that as I've just dropped my drink in my lap.
no, but sometimes it's like when I look at our pod in the charts, and it's like the people who are above us that like the politics
Intellectuals.
one. And intellectuals. And you do have that pang of, God,
Wish
we're
I was an intellectual.
known for being fucking morons.
No, I mean, you know, I think this is fiction or reality. You know, it's the same thing, isn't it?
But this isn't fiction.
This is
our life.
This is our reality.
Shut up.
Do you feel like people are laughing at us
Probably.
rather than with us?
They probably are, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, some will be. Like the intellectuals will be going, look at these pair of tossers. You know, what's happened to our world. But I think there's plenty of
But there's
people
so
out
many intellectual people I know who listen and love.
there. That's exactly right. There's lots of people out there.
This is light-hearted fun. As it's unshamed fun. I'm going to nick that and describe our things as it.
You keep nicking people's quotes at the moment.
Do you know what? There's nothing worse.
It's not like you ever Nick Margaret Robbie's if it's not a hell yeah.
that's
It's
going on.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's a motto. That's different. That's something I just say to myself on every decision. Now,
I've started using it.
it's not. It's the perfect test. I go to a shop, try on a dress. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. Do you want to do this? If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. Do you want to go here? If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. Do you want to take this job? If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no.
Yeah.
Wise words.
Time is important. You know, you don't want to spend your time doing something that you're not really
I'll tell you what
into.
quote I like. The most valuable currency we have are minutes. Our most valuable currency is minutes.
Riveting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's from the book Unstressable. If you haven't read it, read it. Life-changing.
Well, I just don't think we're going to top Remember My Name by Abbey Clancy. You look gorgeous on the back though, babe. Can I just see one thing, actually? This is your first novel, right? Debut novel.
Novel.
Might as well be a novel. Right. The dedications, which you hammered me for.
Oh my God.
Absolutely hammered me, she did.
Yeah.
Not one mention of me.
Was I even with you at this point?
Front or back. Of course you were. Front, back, anywhere. I mean, I got so much grief. She was in there. She was just last. I thought, I'm not even in there.
In his Facebook, he brought out there was a picture of Colleen and not even me. That's the ultimate.
No, we were early days then. And I was
We
like,
weren't.
you know, I don't want to put you in a book that's timeless. If you're going to be a flash in the pan.
That's not true. But you still didn't put me in. Fucking wrong.
Right, should we fire into the Agony abs?
Guys, if you enjoyed that, don't forget to hit subscribe. Hey, Peter and Abby. It's Simon and Vic here from last week's pod. The ones that are based in Singapore with charmingly flawed dog friends.
Oh.
We'd like to take this opportunity to issue an official apology to our friends. Upon reflection, we realised that our agony ab caused undue distress to both Tom and his girlfriend. Our message has caused a much bigger shitstorm than their dog created in our bedroom. Regrettably, what was intended as a light-hearted jest, born out of an evening with way too many beers, wines and gin, has resulted in unintended consequences, tarnishing a cherished friendship. Our attempt at humour, though ill-conceived and poorly executed, in no way reflects our true sentiments towards their couple or their lovely cuddly dog. They've changed the fucking tune.
I cannot.
Yeah.
It's an official statement. It's an official statement.
Please accept our heartfelt apology, and we'd like to stress that both Tom and his partner, and even the mischievous dog, are most welcome and wanted in our lives. With love always, Simon and Vic. Oof.
Simon and Vic have had to backtrack massively. You know what? Listen, when you're writing into the Agony abs, always remember there is an anonymous
Yeah.
option.
For a reason.
And if you have got English names in Singapore, and it's Simon and Vic,
But did they say the names last time?
They didn't name the friends, but they said their names, yeah. Because he said about he went to school with Peter, if you remember.
they obviously know, don't they?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
if you're,
but you know, people go mad if you slag the dogs off. Look, oh, Johnny can't even. When I start saying how untrained his dog is, he literally flips.
he's not happy about it, is he?
People love their dogs, Pete, like children, and it's
Thing is with that, like that feels like an official statement. It's like they've been
No,
bollocked.
and wanted in our lives. So they're like out their lives now. Do
Absolutely bollocked.
you know what? We could flip this.
Go on.
Could flip this. Tom and his girlfriend might be like, finally, it's our excuse
Yeah.
not to hang out with them. will say we're really annoyed that they've exposed us on the therapy couch.
This isn't what the therapy crouch stands for. Do you know what I mean? Like, you write in with your problems, and we don't alienate friends. We want to. This is about bringing people together.
What was our response though? Did we play a part in this breakdown?
Yeah, I said you've got to speak to them and say they can't bring their dog round.
Yeah. You didn't say...
But like, I mean, would you, if you were that good a friend, right, would you split up over a dog?
People do.
Really?
People do.
Well, if someone hammered Jeffrey and said, you can't bring Jeffrey round, he's a pain in the arse, I'll go, well, he's not, he's great. I'll go, don't worry, I just won't bring him around. It's
Yeah.
Like you offend Liberty, their dog, all the time.
Otherwise, he wants to eat me. I'm not allowed to look it. I can't look at this dog in the eye. So I walk round there and she goes, just don't look it in the eye. I go, fucking hell. It's sitting there ready to eat me.
He's super highly trained, this dog,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
wouldn't do that. But Pete's got a fear of dogs.
I look, it goes like that, right? So it's looking straight at me all day. And but I'm looking this way and it's there. And I'm going, okay, girl. She's just saying, it's fine. He won't do anything unless you look him in the eye. And I go, oh.
He's friendly, just don't touch him or look at him
Yeah.
or breathe near him.
I offended Lib when I told her a dog looked like Myra Hindley. She's like, how dare you, my peaches. I'm like, God, that dog. She rescues all this dog and she's like, she gets it and she's like, oh, it's a puppy. And it's about 14, blind, can't walk. I'm like, Lib, that is not a puppy. It is. She just had a hard life. I'm like, it's 1 year old. I'm like, no, Lib, it's got about a week to live, that thing.
She does an amazing job with them, when like they obviously
Yeah,
rescue
she does
dogs
love
and
dogs.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like, unreal.
she loves it. She dresses them up every day in outfits.
Does she?
They all wear clothes. So funny.
I mean,
I tell John straight about Yoko. I'm like, you just can't bring her to the house.
I think
And that pains me as an animal lover. But, my sofa's white, my rug's white.
I think Tom and his girlfriend need to line up. I think, listen, Simon and Vic love you in their lives, and they're having a joke about the dog there. Don't take it so personally.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Abby
But
and
when you
Pete,
come round for makeup drinks, leave the dog at home.
Yeah. Meet in a public place.
something to ponder, isn't it? Oh, my God.
Picnic in the park.
All right. Never thought I'd need an agony ad, but after watching your pod, I feel like I need your advice. I'm 5 months pregnant. I just found out we're having a boy.
Oh.
I've had a list of baby names I've loved since I was a little girl, but my husband doesn't agree with any of them.
Ignore him.
He might say that. He wants to name our baby after his dad, and he's very insistent in it. His dad's name is Bill.
Oh, Bill's cute.
Who calls
Billy?
their baby Bill in this day and age?
William.
Baby Bill.
I like
He
Billy.
refuses any other name and often gets really offended that I don't just accept the name. His dad is a lovely man, but I just don't want the name. I feel like I'm going through so much, growing a baby inside me and then giving birth to it just for him to name it Bill. How can I get him to see it from my point of view? It keeps causing tension between us, and that's not what I want. But I just can't agree with that name. Help. From a desperate Billy No Mates.
Billy No Mates. That's a thing.
Billy's a nice name. isn't it?
I think Bill's all
Billy
right.
Elliot.
I don't mind the
You've got a
name,
mate called Bill?
Yeah, love him. Great.
Bill's a friendly name.
Yeah.
But could they not come to a compromise and have it as a middle name? Alejandro Bill Jones.
That's a good compromise.
What about William?
Yeah.
It's Bill. That's
Yeah,
short.
it is, yeah.
Billy. I like Billy.
I like Billy Connolly.
Yeah, but if she really doesn't like it, what does she do?
A name's a lot for a mother, I think, when you're growing the baby and it's such a personal thing, isn't it?
It's like generations of,
No,
it's a boy as well, isn't
I can
it?
see it from both sides. It's just hard, and she's going to be feeling very emotional and exhausted at this point as well.
Yeah. Do you think mums, because they do nurture the baby, pull rank?
What do you think his mums create the baby, you mean?
Yeah.
And grow them, yeah.
They don't create the
Didn't
baby.
create
though.
them, no.
We place it inside you. You carry it.
We put the bun in the oven. You put it up to 200 gas mark 5.
Bullshit.
I think the middle name's a great shout, and the dad can still call him Bill. Can't he? Do you know what I
Doesn't
mean?
your dad call you Mart or something?
Yeah. My dad used to call me Stonky Martindale. It was mad. I had a t-shirt, Stonky Martindale. And then it ended up being just Mart. And then people thought my name was Martin. I don't know. It's just something that, these things just happen, don't they?
It's like Liberty, we call her Bibs, don't we?
Like my
Liberty, Bibbity Bob, Bibbity
yeah,
Bobbity Boo.
and
now
things
she's
just develop, yeah.
I get called Gail by my friends and I absolutely hate it.
I like that one.
God,
'Cause
Gail.
Abby's a lovely name.
Gail
Abigail,
Plant.
Gail.
I hate my name.
Oh, it's
I like
a
Abby.
lovely name.
Do you?
It's a lovely name, Abby.
Abby.
I think it's a bit wet. Abby,
What's wet
it's a
about
bit
it?
thick.
What would you like to? What name would you like to have?
I've told you.
Princess Alexis Candy.
Claudia.
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 Love
Claude.
that name.
Oh, no. Better with Abby.
I like Stevie as well.
What about?
Oh,
for
I'd
me?
love to be
What would
called
you like me to be called?
Misty or Arabella, Isabella, Bella. I love those names. Sophia. I love the name Sophia. And Liberty. I'd love to be called Liberty as well.
Peter. Do you like that name?
No, but I like...
Petra.
Peter's a safe bet, isn't it? I like
Twice you married, yeah.
Literally why you
harmless.
married me.
Harmless.
Yeah.
He's harmless.
Every Peter you know
Safe.
is harmless, isn't he? Harmless.
Safe bet.
To... See, I don't think I could go out with you if your name was like
Like
Gavin or
Gavin.
Gail and Gavin.
or like Nigel or Ian. I just couldn't. Kevin.
No, they're all solid names.
No.
They're just not. These days you have to be called something.
I like George.
You have to be called something. Bit like crazy.
I
don't
think
you?
our boys' names are the best. You just can't go wrong.
I like
Solid.
Timeless
Johnny,
classics.
Jack.
solid
Bosh.
names. Solid names. Right. Hey, Abbey and Pete, love the pod. You guys have quickly become a big part of our lives. So much so that now I'm having to re-listen back to old episodes just to get my fix. I've got a bit of a serious agony up here, so I apologise if I bring the vibe down. It relates to me and my boyfriend. We've been together for 5 years now, and whilst he hasn't done anything explicitly wrong, the spark has just gone. I'm pretty sure he feels it too. We are living separate lives, and I'm finding small things get on my nerves. The thing I am needing your advice on, guys, is how best to approach this.
So I just interrupt you for a bit. Me and Ellie saw a terrible lick today.
Oh, really? On just someone random?
Random.
Or it wasn't me, was it?
When we go to the gym in the golf club, there was a man who didn't know we were sitting. He didn't think we could see him. And he was practicing his golf swing on his own in like the reflection of the glass for ages.
What is wrong with that?
Yeah.
I do that.
Ellie was like, ick, 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 ick. I was like, where? And he was like that. But he didn't have a golf club in his hand.
Yeah,
It was like a
I do
fake
that.
one.
I do that in Armour sometimes. I
And-
make sure no one's around.
And then he saw us and like pretended to like scratch his head. It was so, we were watching for like 5 minutes.
I the thought of you two, like if I didn't know you two,
We were hysterical.
looking and like getting caught doing that.
You're like, on the group chat, fucking hell, lad, just been collared there.
Sorry, it just sprung into my mind. Go on, carry on.
God, there's still a lot of love there, and I don't want to needlessly hurt his feelings, but something's got to give. This is my first long-term relationship, so any advice on location, things to avoid, exit strategy would be greatly appreciated. When's the best time to break up with a partner? There's a stat about May being the best month to break up.
Oh yeah, why is that? Because God, I don't have to take air on holiday. Summer holidays coming up. Or
That's probably
summer
it,
of fun, summer of love.
Going,
Out with the old, in with the new.
Spring, new beginnings.
Spring, new beginnings.
You're
That
out
makes
and about
sense.
A bit more, aren't you?
yeah, because you know, but then mind you, if they're getting on your nerves, winter's the worst time because you're just stuck in with them.
No, but winter also, you could argue you don't want to be lonely in the winter on those long dark nights. So you sit in with someone you've got company in the summer, spring, summer. You're going out. People are out in beer gardens. It's buzzy.
Yeah, and also you don't want to break up with someone around Christmas, do you? That's a bad look. Dump me just before Christmas. Like, you don't need it.
I dumped someone on Valentine's Day once
Did you?
in school. I was about 8. And he gave me a chocolate heart and then I ate it and dumped him. I know.
God.
Evil bitch.
It's all take, isn't it?
Take. It's a tough one, breaking up, but I think life is short. As I said before, our most valuable currency is minutes. You don't want to be spending
I
your
agree.
precious minute. Do you know what's a really scary thought? Becky Fatamy, who was on Exhibit A, my podcast, my enriching podcast,
Yeah.
the one without you.
Yeah.
She's 47 or 48, and she's put in a jar marbles, and she takes one out each year and she's put it in. She's gone like, I'll live till like I'm 75, say. So she's only got like 30 marbles in the jar, so that's 30 summers until you're dead.
Lovely.
It's a grim thought.
It's a saying, you've lost your marbles. I reckon that comes from that. But if you think you're 43. I'm shit at maths, so if you could...
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to live till you're about, say, 75. You've got 32 years left.
Yeah, so you've got 32 summers left.
Cheery.
Yeah, but when you
Cheery
think of it
thought.
like that, I think it makes
Live every moment.
live every moment, and you can be clearer with your decisions.
Okay, so how are you going to break up? Say if you're breaking up with me.
But she should just dump him and then move house to another city and then just block him.
Yeah.
Only the best advice here on the therapy. How to do things right in relationships. If you had dumped me, right, where would you take? Would you take me anywhere? Would you say it to me in the house?
I've tried to dump you
I am done
over
with
the
you.
years. You keep coming back.
You're like a bad penny.
Bloody boomerang.
Fuck up a punishment.
It's never a nice thing, is it? Because it's a 5-year relationship. There's obviously been love there at some point. And I think when you are thinking about dumping someone, you probably think of, God, all the good times we've had. And then you feel guilty. He almost needs to, and because there's not a major that's happened, like if someone cheats on you or if someone's nasty to you, it's probably easier to get out of. But if it's kind of just fizzled, it's more hurtful in a way. Do you think?
What about this one? Half of Brits, 56%, are prepared to terminate a relationship by text, citing avoiding confrontation as the reason for putting off a breakup.
So I was watching Sex and the City earlier and remember when the guy broke up with her on Post-it note and said, sorry, I can't, don't hate me.
A bit shitbaggy, that, isn't it? But like, I think it depends on the length of the relationship in all these things. If you've been together 2 weeks, I think a text is like fine. It's not,
Or just a
it's
ghost,
not working.
Just a ghost.
Yeah.
How do you feel about ghosting?
It's all on time.
Don't mind it, to be fair.
I think it's time, isn't it?
It's a respect thing, isn't it? Dumping someone the right way is a form of respect. And if you've been together longer.
It's not a nice thing to do if you've got to sit down and just tell someone their faults. You
What
know,
about, it's not you, it's me.
yeah, it's always. I'm not in that space at the moment.
It's not you, you're perfect, it's
Just
just
not in
me.
that space. That one's great. Like, could it just mean anything? Just not in that space at the moment. You know?
What space? I'll meet you there, I'll wait for you.
I think fronter. Take them out, speak to the face and say, look, it's not working.
Ross, we've actually dumped someone for you once.
When she did that big long, that was where Grow Up was born.
Yeah.
She did the big long heartfelt message, you know.
But our Ross was so upset and was like, what should I say? Like, don't want to upset her. We just snatched his phone. We were all pissed and we just texted back, grow up.
Up. Oh, my God.
Did you tell her that wasn't you?
Probably. I can't recall now, but yeah.
Or did you just go with grow up?
No, I probably shit back there. Oh, no, I've been talking phone to them. I'm so sorry. But you dumped.
Yeah, that's
Have you
not,
dumped anyone?
that's not the way to do it. Yeah,
How did you do it?
so it's not working.
Not in that
You know,
space.
It's not that space.
Is that what you really did?
Yeah,
It's the only thing
What did
can
you
do.
actually say?
don't want a girlfriend.
I want to go out and sew me out.
Oh, I want to go and smash everything.
Revolting. That's just give me the air. You need to learn how to do it first, pal.
Talking of breakups, have you heard about Sky Mobile and how easy it is to make the switch, break up with your old network provider?
God, I've been trying to break up with my network for years. You can never get out of them. Contracts.
You never
Go on,
seem to be able to.
Like it's due.
You can never get out of them, can you? Contracts.
So did I just say that? Did I? Yeah, but even when they're over, they don't never seem to be over. There seem to be some mad loophole
Yeah, no, I agree. But listen, with Sky Mobile, it offers new customers the chance to switch their mobile network with one text to switch
Amazing.
to join Sky Mobile.
Okay,
It is doable.
good.
Yeah, and there's amazing features on Sky Mobile. You can roll over your unused data from the month before or even share it with family and friends. That's been a problem with us, data, over the years.
God, we'd never have enough data.
Well, you don't, because you never have your phone.
What is data anyway?
Your internet when you haven't got Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's a
It's
nightmare
like
when you
10
do
I've got like 1 billion megabytes or something.
1 billion megabytes.
Still not enough.
1 billion megabytes.
Is that not what it's called?
yeah.
Gigabytes, they usually measure it.
Gigabytes.
They usually measure it in gigabytes.
Gigabytes.
But you probably get unlimited, yeah.
I haven't got unlimited. But imagine if you could just break up with someone as easy as that. You know, just a text, no hard feelings. Even carry over some of the fun times you've had, maybe.
Yeah. You fancy an upgrade?
Yeah. Switch to whatever you like.
I'm switching to Lucy from sales.
With a text. But you know what? Like, you can use all the Sky apps on Sky Mobile without using your data.
Good. But I haven't even got Sky app.
No.
Can you download it?
I have.
Can you download it?
For the football.
Is that what you do? Do you download
You
these
download
things?
it.
Do we download these?
Yeah.
Okay. Download me and then I'll switch.
Text the switch.
Download me for a day. I'll just use loads of free data and then I'll just switch by text.
Right, so you're going to text the switch
I'm
on
going to
Sky Mobile.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sky Mobile. I think we should
I'm
probably...
not sure about that jumper.
Why?
It's quite 60s. And also a bit street jackety vibes. And it's a funny colour.
Perhaps I could text to switch. With Sky Mobile. T's and C's apply. As enjoyable, I thought.
Enjoyable.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It's a funny word.
Yeah, well, it's made me want to read books. I feel like
Okay.
reading a book now.
We've got our trip coming up soon.
Oh my God, we have got a
I
trip.
can read a book in a day. We've got a 4-day trip.
That'd be fun for me.
Let's get epic books. Guys, send us in your book recommendations and
Yeah.
we'll put them on our book club.
Yeah.
Back to you. No, joke.
Exactly right, yeah.
No, send us some book recommendations for our trip because I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished Green Lights.
No, I wouldn't mind listening to that. That'd be good. Get a few audio books and stuff like that.
I love his voice. Do you?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he's
It's
nice.
the best accent. Carol.
Yeah.
Yes, we can go on a nice romantic holiday and you can listen to another man while we're on the beach.
Coming in my ears.
See you next week, guys.